Hey there, are you worried about AI taking your job, white collar worker? Well, you should be worried, but today we're going to break down for you what you can do to leverage the power of AI to build an amazing career for the next decade and beyond, or for as ever long as you want to work. My name's JT O'Donnell, and this is the live podcast, Just Ask JT, where I take your questions and break them down for you. And AI has been a big one for me this year. So many people are now realizing that AI is having a massive, massive impact on white collar jobs. We know that they're currently, at the time I'm recording this, there is a white collar job recession. And quite frankly, we're not expected to see the end of that for a little bit, which I'll get into in a minute. So whether you like it or not, AI is here. It is impacting white collar jobs in every industry at all skill levels. And the sooner you understand it and can start to think strategically about how you're going to leverage this to your advantage, the better shape you're going to be in. And I want that to be you. Okay. So let's start first by understanding the problem. I always like to break down the problem. You know that I have something called the GLOW method: gain perspective, illuminate the goal, own your actions, work it daily, right? And so gaining perspective here today, we need to accept the fact that a whole bunch of futurists have done a lot of data crunching. And the reality is that over the next 5 years, and I would include from 2023 through now, right? So through probably about 2028, we're going to lose anywhere from 70 to 84 million jobs. Let me say that again: 70 million to 84 million jobs over 5 years. Okay. And that's because the first round of AI advancements are wiping out the repetitive type of work that many people, white collar professionals who are paid good money for, it can now do and do better than them. And so it's removing those jobs, those tasks. And all of a sudden, companies are like, well, I used to need 50 people for this, but because so much of the manual function can be done by AI, I don't need 50. I only need 5. I have enough work for 5 people, not 50. And this is what is happening all over in every type of company, but particularly where we've started to see it hit hard is anybody that is a white collar worker. Now, that is always defaulted to college educated, but what we're really talking about is office jobs, right? Things in operations, in finance, in sales, in marketing, in HR, in recruiting. Okay, those aspects of the businesses are getting decimated because AI tools are replacing a lot of the functionality of some of these positions. Okay, but what the AI can't do is come up with the new ideas of the concepts, right? Or manage the group of people, or execute on the plan and decide what resources to leverage. And so what you're seeing right now is a contraction of a labor market so that companies can assess and understand what kind of strategic people they will then need going forward. Here's the good news, thing that I didn't mention. They're expecting anywhere from 90 to 150 million new jobs, right? 90 million to 150 million new jobs eventually out of AI. And this is how it always works. The bigger the disruption, the bigger the innovation. Let me say that again. The bigger the disruption, the bigger the innovation. So if you go back and look at history and you look at all these places where we had massive disruption, okay, and it was kind of doom and gloom and there was all this chaos going on, out of that sprouted incredible innovation. And so that's what's happening right now, because people are realizing, well, gee, if AI is taking away this, it's freeing me up to pursue other things, learn other things, leverage it in different ways, create new things. And so all sorts of new businesses are going to come out of this. There's going to be all sorts of new job titles, jobs that have never existed before. Like just a year or two ago, nobody had ever heard of a prompt engineer. A prompt engineer is the term for the person that tells the AI what to do. Okay, so that's just one job title. There are going to be all these crazy job titles that will just be so totally normal one day. Let's think about another example of this just to prove my point. Social media. We didn't have social media 20 years ago. And now we have social media managers, CPC managers, like all these different things that sprouted out of social media, and the industries that were created out of social media created all these new jobs. So that's what's happening with AI right now. My point to you is that the contraction phase does not perfectly line up with the expansion phase. So for the next 2 to 3 years, it's going to hurt, because those new jobs, that innovation and all that stuff is not going to just happen today. That's going to take time to sprout and grow and get to a place where everybody starts hiring, okay? So You, my friend, have an opportunity right now. If you know what industry you're in, if you know what skill set you're in, the good news is that enough people have already been focused on AI that there's probably a free course you can take right now, or some videos on YouTube that you could listen to or watch right now, or even a podcast on the subject. Just this last 4 months, I went to some industry events, and at every industry event, they had a thought leader in AI get up there and really, I don't want to say dumb down, but speak at the language of a fifth grader to make sure the whole room understood just how quickly AI was being adopted and all the cool things it could do. And so for me to go and see these and go, wow, that's what's happening across the board. People are getting smarter and starting to understand the basics around AI and then starting to see all these things that they can do with it. And you don't want to be left behind. So be honest with yourself. Have you gotten on YouTube and typed in AI and put your industry in, or AI and your skill set in, and have you just started to watch and listen to what people are saying? Because it isn't rocket science. It isn't brain surgery. It's not a foreign language. There are enough people now really starting to talk about it within your industry, within your skill set. The other thing I would say is that if you aren't following any kind of like daily newsletter or weekly newsletter in your space, you should be finding one and following. And anytime they're sharing something on AI, you should check it out. A lot of times they'll offer free webinars, things like that. You should commit this year to saying, I'm going to be 10% smarter month over month about AI and its role within my industry or within my skill set. I'm going to dedicate time every week to go listen, watch, read something related to AI in my industry and my skill set. Because, folks, this is where you're going to see the opportunities. And here's where it really matters, because your company is thinking about AI. If you're not part of the conversation, you're at risk of being on the chopping block. Let's say that again. If you're not one of the people that gets to discuss AI and how it's going to be implemented in an organization, right? That's usually happening at the highest level, then you're at risk of losing your job to AI. So how do you offset that? You start talking about AI in the office. You start talking about it with your manager. You start bringing up, hey, I saw this video on it, and I saw this new tool in our space. You have to start studying, and you don't need to be 100% smarter. You need to be 10% smarter. You need to be able to drop one little knowledge bomb. You need to be able to share one thing. And just by default, you look smarter about AI. But it's also going to be able to help you anticipate where things are going. Because as you learn more about the tool, you'll figure out which skill sets of yours are going to go away. Like, they're not going to need that anymore. Oh my gosh, AI is going to take that over. But they are going to need a lot more of this. They're going to need me to be really good at this. And so when you start to figure that out, you're driving the bus. You are staying ahead of the trend, and you are staying in the know so that you can talk knowledgeably, which makes you look like a keeper. You can build your skill sets in the right direction so that you stay in demand, right? And that will give you the power to have more choice over where your career goes. The way I want you to look at this is that there are times in our life where we're working in our job. And when I say in our job, it simply means we're doing the day-to-day. We're executing, okay? And we're being good at what we do. But there are times in your life where you need to step out of working in your job and work on your career. This is when you look up and you say, all right, if I look down at my career, I need to be able to see where it could potentially go. And I need to do the things to pivot and turn the bus in that direction, or the bus is going to get broken down and left behind. Not enough people spend time on the career. They're too busy working in the job. And you know what I mean? If you've ever been blindsided by a layoff or a firing, and then you get out there and you find out your skill set is not as in demand as you thought you were, you're being called overqualified, and you can't get any job interviews, you were not focusing enough on your career. I know that hurts to hear, but as a 20-year career coaching veteran who has built an entire platform to help people work on their career, obviously you can imagine the people that come in and they have to say, JT, I need to own it. I was so busy working in my job, I wasn't working on my career. Let's do this. And the good news is I'm like, great, now you understand working on your career. Let's do this together. Let's get you on track, and let's show you how to make sure you're always driving the bus in the right direction, that you're strategically taking the time to look at things like AI and the disruption it's causing, but also how we can drive that bus towards the innovation that's going to come out of this disruption. And again, that comes down to the people in your industry and in your skill set who are already talking about AI because they are. And if you don't believe me and you want to challenge me, I want you to head over to YouTube right now, put in AI in your skill set, AI in your industry, and videos are coming up, my friend. Videos are coming up. You should be watching those videos. You can do the same thing on every platform I'm on here today. LinkedIn is a beautiful example. Hey to all my LinkedIners. Go up to the search bar, put in AI, put in your skill set, see what comes up, and then look at the posts. TikTokers. Hey, TikTok. You should do the same. Put it in the search bar. All three of these platforms that I'm live on today, YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok, search AI in your industry, AI in your skill set, and you're going to find some snackable, yummy little pieces of content designed to entertain you so that you can start to learn. And if you do that, like my company name, Work It Daily, not Work It All Day, if you just said, hey, I'm going to throw down the JT challenge. Monday through Friday, I'll give you the weekends off. For the next 20 business days, right? I'm going to get on and I'm going to watch one little snackable piece of something related to AI in my industry on one of the channels. And 20 days later, I'm going to be a lot smarter about my career because I'll have worked on my career so that I can pivot the bus in the direction of innovation and drive it forward. Does that make sense to everybody? Can I get a heck yeah on social media if this is making sense? We do not have to be afraid of AI. A lot of you, not so far off in the future, are going to be like, AI is the best thing that ever happened in my career. I just got a better job. I just got a pay raise. Those days are coming. Right now is the painful days of people getting laid off left and right because AI is replacing them. But again, the bigger the disruption, the bigger the innovation. And that means you all are going to have an opportunity if you choose to grab it and get your bus out in front by working on your career right now. Yes? Does this make sense to everyone? Yeah, all right. Wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So, yeah. And so a couple of things I want to hit on some of the comments we're seeing. So first of all, Evelyn says, I'm a copywriter. I'm feeling hurt right now. Yes. Here's a beautiful example. Copywriters are in the pain, the contraction phase of AI, losing jobs left and right to AI that can write copyright. Okay. But my friend, Evelyn, that AI is going to need a senior copywriter extraordinaire to get very creative and nuanced in what you tell it you want it to do to improve the copywriting. And you will get so good at prompting that AI that you'll be able to do the work, the higher level, senior copy level work of 10 copywriters using this tool in the same time it would have taken one person. So when you see that opportunity, seize it, pivot your butts in that direction. And that's where you can start talking about that and saying, oh my gosh, as a copywriter, I love these tools. I'm able to do the work of 10 copywriters right now, and I get to do the really strategic stuff, that higher level stuff that's way more fun and interesting for my senior copywriting brain. See where we're going? Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. I know. Yeah, and it's true. Like, I love some of these shout outs. Shout out to Carolina, who says you can learn anything with AI. You absolutely can. People are so intimidated by the word AI. ChatGPT is a blast. I'm sorry. I have a conversation every day on ChatGPT. Every day I get on that thing and I ask it a question because I am training myself to have a conversation with it because that's where we're going. We are going to always be able to have a really knowledgeable person that we would have loved to have a nerd out conversation with is sitting there just waiting for us to have a conversation with it. And I want to give this, her little equation here is perfect. Let me spit it out. Creativity plus AI equals power. That is what I'm talking about, folks. It is you going, oh, let me take all my creative genius, all my years of knowledge in my industry, my skill set, and let me use these AI tools to do like unbelievable stuff that used to would have taken $100,000 and 50 people to do. This is where you're going to make the magic in your career. And we're already seeing people doing this, right? So you lean into it and you get excited about it, right? I love what Robert said. AI is here to stay. Don't ignore it, embrace it. That is exactly what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So this is an interesting question and I don't want to ignore it. Is there any group seriously looking at the potential for AI to significantly displace the human workforce and deciding if we should be putting on the brakes? So here's my thought around that. And you can call me an optimist, but I'm really looking at what I said before, the bigger the disruption, the bigger the innovation. Humans love creating new things. We love building new things, creating new things, turning our brains on, moving them forward. I truly believe that while AI is a short-term painful thing, it is going to create so many cool jobs. It's going to create millionaires after millionaire who was able to utilize tools online and not have to build a company with 100 people. I think the first billion-dollar company doing $1 billion a year with 10 employees is probably already being built right now. And that means people always think of wealth and money as a constraint, as a have and a have not. When the truth is, folks, that wealth is there for any and all of you to take advantage of. It's not a he has it, therefore she has not. If you look at it that way, then that's how it will be. But if we instead look at AI and go, oh my gosh, AI is going to create so many opportunities, so many side hustles, so many independent businesses that do millions a year. I want on that train. Like that's where I see humans just creating and doing more things that AI can get rid of. So I want to be glasses half full. I want to leverage it in the good ways. Of course, I think we have to be careful about what we use it for and how we use it, no doubt. But let's be positive as well as realistic is my goal. And I just can't tell you based on what I'm seeing as a career coach, what I know, how we're using AI, there's just so much opportunity. There are going to be so many cool jobs as a result. I really, really believe that. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people are chiming in right now, which I absolutely love. Malcolm's commenting here about the fact that AI has been around for a long time. It has. It's been around for a really long time. And we just didn't know that's what it was. And then all of a sudden we started talking about AI and people would think we're talking a foreign language. We're not, which is, again, let me just bring you back to this idea that if you were to get on TikTok, LinkedIn, or YouTube once a day, Google search AI in your industry or AI in your skill set and read or listen or watch one thing. And if you did that for 1 month, you are going to be so much smarter and so much less afraid of AI because you're going to go from that's what makes us mostly afraid is we don't understand it. So the faster you start to understand it, like once I started to fully grasp it, I was like not only leaned in, jumped all in because it's just so exciting. And there's so many cool things that it can do. And that's when your brain's going to be on fire and that energy is going to come out in your career, in with the people that you work with. And that's the energy you want to put out in the world when it comes to attracting the best opportunities and being given the most exciting projects to work on. It's always going to come around to your enthusiasm towards that. So that's the way that we're going to light your fire around AI with that simple little work it daily exercise. Yes? Awesome. Okay, folks, this was really fun. Hopefully you now understand, especially if you're a white collar worker, there is a big opportunity for you to pivot the bus, drive forward by working on your career. And as I mentioned, the way we work on our career is we learn a little bit each day. So take me up on the Work It Daily Challenge. 1 video article something a day on AI. Go search YouTube, LinkedIn, or TikTok, and you will find something snackable and interesting to listen to. And that's going to fire the dopamine hits in your brain. You're going to start learning and growing. And a month from now, you're going to be like, I don't even know why I was afraid of AI. This is so cool. I know where I'm sending my career. Let's do this. And that's where that innovation is really going to spark. Remember, bigger the disruption, the bigger the innovation. Yes? Now, as far as you and your career, if you found this helpful, will you do me a favor? It's totally free. It's free. It doesn't cost you a thing. In 2025, my team and I built a free resource center. It's a private community, ad-free, free resource center, no credit card required. It is linked in my TikTok bio. It is linked in the link down below where you're watching this. It is linked over at workitdaily.com in the menu bar. And this free resource center I built so that you could attend these live podcasts and watch the recordings. And I put 4 of the most important trainings I did in 2024 in there for 2025. Okay. So it's $1,000 worth of training in there free as a bonus. But when you're in there, and this is how you're helping me, I can then email you and remind you when we're going live so you can come join. Okay. Because this community is amazing. And there's a lot of things that you don't know you need to know to succeed in your career. Everyone here is paying what they call the ignorance tax and what some people call the dumb tax. And we hear that word and we're like, I'm not dumb. But the truth is we're all ignorant to something. And until we learn it, we won't get the results we want. Career is no different. So if you say this year, I'm going to get inside JT's Free Resource Center, I'm going to come listen to her snackable content, her live podcast, I'm going to keep learning and growing. Let's see where we are together at the end of 2025, shall we? All right, let's all get together. Let's come together inside this Free Resource Center. You'll be telling me what topics you want me to cover, what things you want me to address on this podcast, right? It's called Just Ask JT. There's a form for that in the center. And together, we're going to snack your way to a bigger, better career, all driving that bus that you control in 2025. That's what I want for you. But that only happens if you come join me in the Free Resource Center, okay? That's all I'm looking for. If you found today awesome, you found it helpful in some way, just come be part of my Free Resource Center, okay? All right. I hope to see you there. I'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes? All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Happy Tuesday. I'll see you soon.